I think
It looks identical.
I think cleaned up for David is not cleaned up for Lake.
Yeah. Eric, how you doing, my friend?
Busy. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Happy to help.
So,
Happy to help.
really quick, I have an introduction really quick. I just wanted to make sure you're okay with that. Award-winning kind of writer-producer. Really quick, and say, I won't say it all if you want. I can just quickly just say it.
Yeah, that's fine. No, that's fine. Whatever you got, it works.
I do want to mention that, producers are probably one of the most important people on the production.
Yeah.
And if a movie fails, it's a producer. If a movie is successful, it's a producer. So I want to start off with you all first, and then so Andrew hired you, and then the last couple of guys.
Okay.
So you just ended up getting that on spot.
Nice. There you go. There you go.
Yeah. So okay. Right now, hopefully, we'll be showing. I know we got quite a few online that are going to be participating.
Okay. Fantastic.
Thank you so much, guys. And if you guys want water, yeah, there's some back there.
Hello.
What are you guys doing?
Oh, right now I'm just getting ready for this event. I'm gonna be one of the speakers.
Huh?
I'm gonna be one of the speakers.
What is the event like?
This is an event for the film contest.
Oh, of the Squid Game?
Yeah. So we're gonna start it in here, and then.
I'm gonna be in the Squid Game.
Oh, are you? Nice. Yeah.
So do they like, who's gonna be wearing the mask then? Is it gonna be like a movie?
Yeah, they're gonna make a bunch of movies. This is just the kickoff event.
Does it connect?
Yeah. It'll connect to everything. I don't think we'll need quite as many lights.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to move it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Can I say something?
You'll be able to.
Huh?
You should be able to.
Yeah, will it be too loud?
It'll be very loud. Because I think they're still testing
Hello.
the sound.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
See, even that was kind of loud.
Really?
Yeah.
Would I get mad at me if I'm right here?
I don't think so. I don't know what Lexi's gonna
Dang.
be doing.
Oh, instruction. So they read this?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So they say, thank you, God, first. Thank you to all there's people who helped me put this event together. Thank you to the guest speakers. Accept the invitation to be guest speakers. Newman, thank attention for showing up. What's up, man? What is this? Hello? Oh, this doesn't work. My name is Deshaun and I will perform. I want to scare somebody. I have a deep voice.
Are you one of the speakers?
Yeah,
Great.
I want to be a speaker.
Okay, well let's hear it. I'm going to get the audience and you start telling us about yourself.
Okay. I like to read. Who owns this? Who owns this?
All right, let's hear it. What's your name?
Did I say this?
Yeah, of course. I can't hear you.
Deshaun.
Sean, what's your last name, Sean?
Robinson.
Remington?
Robinson.
What school do you go to?
Cat guy.
What school?
Conley Elementary.
Columbia, nice. And are you a filmmaker, actor, director? What do you do?
I'm an actor.
You're an actor, nice. And what
Can I take this
have
out?
you done? Tell us about some of your
Can I
work.
take this out real quick?
I don't know.
Here.
I think it might be the first show.
Can I lower it down real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. So the movies I was in is Generational Difficulties.
Oh, with David Murphy. Yeah.
What was it called?
Generational Difficulties.
Yeah. Did you have fun on it?
Yeah.
Were you at the school? The scene in the school?
Yeah.
Where did you learn to act? Do you have a teacher? You take classes?
Yeah, I took a few classes. I liked it. It was good. Now I'm trying to get into more movies. I only been in 2 so far.
Talk to the guy to your left. I'll take care of that.
This one?
No, the guy to your left, not your right.
Oh, okay. My fault.
So yeah, we work at the film office. If you're ever interested in being in more movies, let us know. We can put you on what's called a casting call, and then you get all the casting calls.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into more, like, to be in speeches in the movies.
Right. Cool.
Have you ever done any Shakespeare?
Hmm?
Have you ever done any Shakespeare?
Shakespeare?
Yeah.
One time.
One time, nice.
Yeah.
I heard Jet, you know Jet Montegano?
Yeah.
She told me she's working with Tina Presley down here.
Oh, really? No, I didn't know that.
I know Tina's been trying to set up a shop. I didn't know
Yeah.
they had done that.
And I know we're gonna meet with them. I don't know if they set up a shop yet. I know she wanted to, so maybe she has.
Who wants to
Presley.
Tina
Presley, yeah.
set up like an office on here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yes, sir. You in the red shirt and hat.
Can I read this?
Can you read it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Tell me. Can you read it?
Yeah.
Okay, there's the answer.
Okay. So the first thing is this introduction. Thank you to God first. Thank you to all directors and the people who helped me put this event together. Thank you to the guest speakers.
Andrew, I was going to ask you. We'll talk about it at the meeting. I'm thinking of doing on Saturday at the film festival a panel inside the world of horror.
Oh, okay.
I'd love to be a panelist.
Yeah.
I've got
Hello.
the actress who was in the original Friday the 13th,
Oh, cool.
Kim, I can't remember her name, and then the actress who was in the original Hellraiser.
Oh, yes. Alexander.
What's her name?
Jamie Alexander, something like that?
Yeah. So I've got that. So I have you. David Vidal's going to be in town.
Games, yep. I'm being on it. Hello.
No, I was trying to think if we are like, because we still have more freedom positions that have the old rocker chairs, but even those are so. Very light. Oh, this is cool.
Hello. Okay. Wait. Have you found out who the director is? I love it. I'm excited for this movie. It's probably gonna be very cool. Did you guys decide who's gonna win the Squid Games? Did you guys decide who's gonna win the Squid Games?
No, I think that's what this is. Like this guy, the guy who was in competition with
How are you guys gonna get the doll? How are you guys gonna get the doll for the Squid Games?
they tie it into the Squid Games.
Yeah, cause there's a doll right there, like the picture of them. So I think there's gonna be a doll. Hopefully. Is middle school hard or is it easy? I feel like it's easy. You think so?
You know, I know Lucky.
Hopefully.
Hey Siri, has Bruce Davison ever been in a horror movie? Bruce Davison starred in the 1971 cult horror film Willard.
Oh, okay. Now the one.
Excuse me.
You ever heard of Willard?
Yeah.
Because Bruce is in the
It's the one with the evil rat.
Rat?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah, I do, yeah,
Yeah,
yes, right, Willard the rat, right. But Bruce is gonna be nominated. Oh really? Yeah.
I'm excited. Okay. Is there any more questions you want to ask me? Because I'm all about it. You can ask me.
What is
Yeah.
your favorite movie?
My favorite movie, in my opinion, might be. I have 5 different movies that I love.
Five, okay, what are the five?
Okay, so I like Zootopia 2. That's first. I like. These are one of my old movies that I like to watch. Like, it's a cartoon technically, but to me, when I was younger, it was like a movie. But my show is Spidey and Friends. And then Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. That was the day one. Then so many good movies. Oh, I remember you.
Hello.
From yesterday.
How are you doing? I'm doing good. Good to see you. How's everything going?
It's going.
You got to bring your students to the film festival this year.
Of course. Of course.
What did you guys? Oh, sorry.
Right, the friendly, younger eye friendly programming.
Yes, exactly. How are things going? Enjoying it?
We're going. It's a bit of a rebuilding year for me. Lost a lot of movies. Training up the next bunch now. It's proving to be careful. Awesome, I will. Did Pepper Candy ever let you know that she won first place with that podcast with you?
I heard that.
Yeah.
She's amazing. You still have her.
Oh, I do still have my yes. I do. I bet actually, did you let Ross know that you won?
I think she did.
You're back. Okay, so you got any questions you want to ask me?
Huh?
You got any questions you want to ask me?
No, I think we're about to start in about 4 minutes.
That's going good. That's going good.
Start what?
Changing up our format a
Do
little
you
bit. Our
want
learning
to?
principle
Why are
kind
you
of
here?
through some changes
Huh?
that we
Why are you
can do,
here?
like
Where am I?
together a show, you know. She
I'm
wants
in
more
it.
daily
You're what?
stuff.
I'm in it.
Oh, you're in it.
The Today Show every day.
Yeah, it's about to start in about 5 minutes.
Did we gotta get? Really?
Huh?
Is there any like food
I don't know.
or snacks?
I don't think so. I think there's water. That's about it.
Gonna step up, yeah.
Really? 'Cause usually when I come, they usually like snacks.
Oh yeah. You know, I think because this one's a little bit more
Tell the story.
like work oriented.
That
Orange?
they just pushed it back. They changed the date.
They're probably gonna bring snacks like.
Yeah, that's what I think.
So the fiesta, like, isn't this like an event? So what's the event like?
So this is the kickoff event. First, what they're gonna do is they're gonna talk. We're gonna talk out here,
Right.
and then we're gonna send them back there, and that's where they find their teams and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, like, are they gonna get in their form like the green skin film?
Yeah, I think they're gonna get into like little teams.
Then when are they gonna do the red light, green light?
So once they get in their teams, I think they have like 3 weeks to make a movie, and then they're gonna show it at the film festival.
Where's the festival?
Las Cruces one?
Some days
The
I'm
Las
not sure,
Cruces
some
one?
days are amazing.
Yeah, or the one that you guys are talking
Some
about.
days I'm like, am I screaming into the ether or?
Kind of scared.
You kind of scared? What?
Huh?
What?
The movie. I know what it's gonna be like.
No, it'll be fun.
Because my big brother's gonna come.
Oh, okay. Does he make film? No.
He's like 16. What are these?
I don't know. Can I see it? Telly where they hold the microphone.
Yeah, look at that. It's flip.
Yeah. So that's you put it. Sometimes you'll put it on the microphone, mainly when you're outside, not when you're inside, and it helps with the sound, like to fight the wind. Yeah.
The cow.
Like if it was real windy, that would kind of help stop it. But
So like this.
yeah, but since it's not windy, you won't really hear a difference.
Have you heard the movie called Little Rascals?
Which one?
The movie called Little Rascals.
Oh yeah.
My best friend was in it too.
Oh really? Oh, that's cool.
And then I was in a famous movie that came out. But I forgot what it was. I was like chef shifting,
Oh okay.
kind of. It's kind of scary because I have a lot of people. There's lots of people. But don't they have snacks at this museum?
Hmm?
Don't they have snacks at this
They have
museum?
snacks in the gift shop, but I can get the free one.
Huh?
They have snacks in the gift shop, but I can get the free one. Yeah. It's in the front.
What type of snacks they have?
I don't know. I think it's like candy.
That's so cool. I want some. Hello. There's nobody to talk to. I'm scared. When's the event? So they're coming in here? Or they're gonna be in there? Probably they're gonna come in here. I tried to guess what movie is I was in. What? Film Cruise. The Film Cruces. The Film Cruces. And my boy Film Cruces. Try to guess what movie is in there. Try to guess the name of the movie I'm in. I'm in 3 movies. It's like a movie where they like show me, but I'm like disguised. It starts with little. Little rascal.
Sometimes easier for her.
We're just waiting on one master guest speaker. So we'll be right back.
Give us a couple minutes.
Yeah, a couple more. Sorry guys for the delay. Give us a couple more minutes. We got a couple of the guest speakers. They're about to sit down. I'm going to stand up right here for right now.
So sit here.
Yeah. Ross, you ready? We got quite a few online, so we're pretty good. All right, how you guys doing today? Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for being part of this little competition. My name is Eric, and I am the exhibit designer here. And myself, I've been in the film industry for about, I'd say, 22 years. I got my training in LA, Tempe, Arizona, and then LA. And so I'm going to keep it kind of short here. I just want to say thank you to all the guest speakers here. Thank you to the director here that allowed us to do this right here. And most of all, I want to thank God for allowing us to be part of this, to get this going. So without further ado, I just want to have Naomi. She is the deputy director of the museum here, and she'll say a couple words here.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you to those in attendance today in the theater as well as those on Facebook. Your support and interest means a great deal to us. This is a new endeavor that we're pursuing. We're very excited. It's very creative and very different than anything we've done before. I would like to extend the thanks to our speakers. Today we're going to have Mr. Ross Marks. Thank you very much for attending. Mr. Andrew Jara. Mr. Eddie Morris. And Mr. Jordan Scott. And I'd also like to recognize the Friends of the New Mexico Farm and Ranch Heritage Museum for their support, as well as the Las Cruces International Film Festival. We greatly appreciate your support in helping us tell the story of agriculture, farming, and rural life. Thank you very much.
Okay, so the way this little contest came about is I've been in LA, and so came down here, and we've been wanting to use this theater for some time. And I asked the director to give me this idea, and they thought it was a great idea, but how would we keep it cultural based? Because that's the way the museum is, that's our motto. How do we keep it like a cultural based, heritage based? So I told them we would create a cultural phrase, and they would have to, the filmmakers would be asked to inject that phrase into their film, keeping it cultural based. And so it just spawned from there. It's been about 9 months. They had to go up to Santa Fe. You had to do a lot of that stuff to get approval. It's our first year, and it is kind of a short notice, but we do appreciate you guys for coming. So I just want to say, so in film, the most important jobs on a production are producers. If a movie fails, it's because of producer. If a movie succeeds, it's because of producer. They are above the line. There's something called above the line. So saying that, I think I want to start off with the producers and directors like this, because they make a big difference on how a movie is achieved. Like I said, there's a finish line. Without these producers, it's very, very difficult. So the first one I want to introduce, he is a film liaison from Film Las Cruces. He's a producer and amazing filmmaker. His name is Andrew Jara.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. We're very glad here. So first, I'm going to just tell you a little bit about what Film Las Cruces does if you don't know. Film Las Cruces is a film office here in Las Cruces, Doña Ana County. We also help Anthony, Sunland Park, Mesilla, pretty much anything that's in Doña Ana County. Anything in the area will help make films. We try to bring films here, and once they're here, we try to get local hires, local vendors, because it's not just about making films, but it's about making films with you guys, with Las Cruces, making sure you guys can get on set, get work, get part of the acting. And so that's what we do. If anyone here is interested in either being a crew member, a cast member, just being involved with film, please feel free to reach out to us, not just here, but on Facebook, online, on our website. We want to help all of you guys be a part of film. And one of the cool things is about film in general is that you're able to kind of, if you talk to a lot of filmmakers, and I'm sure all these filmmakers will tell you today, the best advice is to just do it. Just kind of, you don't know what kind of filmmaker you're going to be until you make a film. And so that's why, even though this is rushed, it's a little bit shorter because it is the first year, but in any film you make, there's always going to be some kind of problems or some kind of hesitations. And so part of being a filmmaker is learning those things and kind of working with them. And so I think this is a great opportunity. We're very excited to see the kind of projects you guys make, to see all that kind of stuff, and especially to use kind of the cultural, again, one of the big things they ask us about is they want to see unique locations in Las Cruces. We had a movie last year, and the director wanted to come in, he wanted to meet with the locals, he wanted to talk to the people because he wanted to get a sense of the area. So when he was telling a story about the area, he had a better understanding. And so you guys are already ahead. You're from the area, and you're able to kind of use what you know from living here, what you can find out about this museum, and all the resources we have in Las Cruces to tell the best story you can. And so we're very excited. We encourage you guys to take as much advantage of the sites, of the history of the area, of everything. This way, you guys can tell the best story. And we're very excited to see what you guys can come up with. Thank you.
All right. So our next speaker doesn't need an introduction really, but I'm going to do it anyway. He's an award-winning director, writer, and producer. He has worked with Academy Award winners from Al Pacino, Brendan Fraser, and Edward James Olmos, even George Lopez. And he is the founder of the Las Cruces International Film Festival. So we are super blessed and happy that we could partner up with him because he makes big strides, big moves in this industry, and plus he works for CMI. Ross Marks.
Thank you. Very excited that you're all here today. I am a filmmaker, as Eric said, made about 18 movies now. I'm also a professor at New Mexico State University in the Creative Media Institute. I think I had a couple of former students. They ran out, I think, with this other speaking. Oh, there's Kenan. Yeah. Should stand up if you're a CMI alum. There you go. Thank you. And then I'm also, I run the Las Cruces International Film Festival. We're heading into our 11th year. So I'm proud to partner with this event. The Las Cruces International Film Festival specifically is going to announce the winners at our poster party right here at the Farm and Ranch. That's on March 6th. And then the first, second, and third place winners will all screen at the festival. And the reason I do the festival, I started the festival 11 years ago, is for two reasons. Number one, I wanted to give filmmakers a home to screen movies with warm, supportive audiences. And number two, I wanted to give the warm, supportive audiences a great event. And I'm proud to say last year at the Film Festival, our 10th year, we had about 12,000 people. Academy Award winner Helen Hunt was here. This year we're going to have Esai Morales, Ron Perlman, Michael Rooker from Guardians of the Galaxy. Shane Black is going to be coming this year. If you don't know Shane, he did the Lethal Weapon series. He did The Nice Guys, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Iron Man 3. Very big deal. So Shane's going to be here. And the reason why we bring these people in is so that you as filmmakers can learn firsthand what it takes to be a filmmaker, what it takes to be successful. And I'll just tell you kind of the two things that are important as you get ready to go tell your stories. Number one, it's much better to fail than regret. Don't take the risk. Put yourself out there. You don't want to 5, 10, 15 years from now say, if I had only shown up to that contest and tried, if I had only told my story, if I only put myself out there, then I would know. So it's much better to fail than it is to regret. And I've lived by that. I've failed miserably, and I've learned more from my failures than anything else in my life. So I love to fail. I mean, I don't like when somebody puts a lot of money into a movie and doesn't do well. But I love to fail because that means I tried. And that means I put myself out there and I took a risk. And then the other thing is tell the story that's personal to you. Don't try and imitate the next filmmaker. Don't try and say, well, Quentin Tarantino does it this way and these are the stories he tells. Well, Sinners was a very successful horror movie, so I'll try and repeat that. Don't tell the story that's personal to you. And that's what's great about Las Cruces, because we're a unique community, we're a hard-working community, a blue-collar community, and we've got great stories to tell. So I'm really excited and proud with my work with the Film Festival as an educator to tell these Las Cruces stories. And when you tell your story, a personal story, the story that only you can tell, when you tell that story, and you do it as a filmmaker, you use a camera and you use equipment, and even if it's just your iPhone, right? Today it's great. When I started making movies, we had to have these big cameras, and 35 millimeter film was expensive to buy. Now, just use our smartphone, so there's no excuse. But when you tell your story and you screen it, and that moment before you screen it, if you're not scared and embarrassed by the story you told, then you've already failed. You have to be scared and say, oh, God, people, I hope they like it. I don't know if they're going to like it. I don't know if they're going to. If you have that feeling, then you're a success, because that means you did something really intimate and personal. Because film is about creating emotion, finding emotion, mining emotion. And if you tell a personal, intimate story that you're embarrassed to tell, then you've really succeeded. So those are the stories we're looking for. Stories that only you can tell. Each person has a story in them, or multiple stories. That's why Quentin Tarantino's successful. He told the stories that he wanted to tell that meant something to him, and he did it in such a way that audiences responded. And I think everybody in this room has the potential to be very successful as a filmmaker. May not be the first film, may not be the second film, maybe it's the third or fourth, but keep making films. I get the question all the time, how do I be successful? Keep making films, and eventually you'll succeed. I've made 18, maybe half were successful. And a lot were unsuccessful. I'm shooting a movie right now in town. I'm excited. Employing 65 Las Cruces, action movie called Counter-Strike. So if you see Michael Jai White, Lou Ferrigno Jr., say, hey, welcome to town. I heard you're shooting a movie. Do you need any help? I want to be in your movie. But it's exciting. It's always exciting to stand in front of a room of filmmakers and storytellers. And so I applaud you.
I thank you for sharing your story, and I wish you the best of luck. Don't leave anything out there on the field. Put it all on the screen. God bless.
Thank you, Ross. Thank you. It's funny how you said, the stories that come from childhood too. I had one here growing up since high school. I graduated from Las Cruces High School, and Visit Las Cruces actually had a competition a couple years ago. Was it a couple years ago? And it was to do a commercial to try to bring more tourists in town. So I know La Llorona's been done many times. Who knows about La Llorona? Tons of people, right? Have you guys heard about the witch's grave? Yeah? Growing up, we used to go try to find the witch's grave there in Nicia and stuff. And so when that competition came up, that was the first one that came to my mind. And I had a friend help me. I wrote it, and we filmed it in a couple days. And it was pretty intense. It was kind of scary because, don't get close to those scary spots, the spirits, and can go home with you and stuff. So, yeah, that was kind of freaky, but we didn't film at exactly that location, but we made it look like it. And that's the creativity that we have as filmmakers. You can film in different locations, but make it look like something else. Get deep into your creativity and not be afraid of that. So that's kind of what I wanted to go through. And I won first place, and I got, for that show. And then it came on the film festival. So thank you for Ross and everybody else. So, okay, so our next speaker, who knows about this show? What is it? Squid Games on Netflix. You guys seen that? Yeah. My son talks about it all the time, but yeah, it's one of those pretty intense films, and then they turned it into a game show. So actually, our next guest was on that show. He was one of the contestants on that show, and he was also professional motocross. So his name is Eddie Morris, and he'll be speaking next.
Hey guys, as you heard, I was on Squid Game The Challenge, and I'm kind of going to speak on a little bit, even like Ross and some of these guys said, about like taking that risk and maybe that next step, because about 3 years ago, I had zero to do with the film world. Didn't know what it was. I had friends that did stunts and other stuff, and because of my motocross background, I raced professionally for 8 years doing it and traveled the whole country, had a lot of fun. I think that's why the reality show thought I was interesting. When I interviewed for it and casted for it, I literally threw my phone up in my van. I was like, this is the only place I got quiet and service, so this is where I'm going to do it. And I guess they thought that was cool, but long story short, we talk about taking that risk, and every time like we're so nervous and we're afraid of it and wanting to take it. Well, every time you do it, it doesn't seem that bad. Like 3 years ago, if you'd have told me I'd have been in New Mexico, been on movies, modeled for companies, done stunts, did this acting, or even here right now, I'd have laughed at you. Like, my life was strictly something totally different. And the show changed my life for the better. It's just kind of crazy. It got to let me be creative, and I knew after motocross there was going to have to be another life. I wasn't going to be a pro athlete forever. So I actually met Lexi on that show and a lot of our friends, and this is actually the original jacket from the show. Don't ask me how she got it, but it's made in Korea and it's really nice. But that changed my trajectory. I asked her, I was like, what's it take to be a part of this stuff? Always wanted to do this. It just sounds so cool. And she's like, talk to me later. And a year later, I went and did something for them, a concept trailer, and I got offered a role in like a big acting thing, and sadly, the strike happened. So I was like so ready for this life change, and I was so like just upset. And then I missed out on something else because I was in Michigan and I couldn't be in New Mexico at the time. And I said, you know what? I'm done. I loaded up my van, my dirt bike, my eBay store, went and got a one-bedroom apartment here in Las Cruces, and I sold all the stuff that I had just to keep afloat and living, and I put myself in these situations just to be better, and I had a good mentor, luckily. I just was always told that no matter what you need to do, you need to put yourself on set. Especially if you're a new person, you've never been on a set, just to go and see how it works. Go be background. Like, I didn't care what I did. Background, stand-in, crew work. I did everything I could to be on a set to talk to the people I needed to. And that put me in situations to be like a part of the union because I got those jobs that I wanted. And I'm still getting them opportunities, and I'm blessed to be here to this day, all because I went on a reality TV show, of all things. Like, cast for it, guys. Don't be nervous. Do the thing. Take the risk. Move across the country. Be wherever you need to be, because the film goes on whether you're there or not. But if you want these guys to see you, you got to make yourself present. Be a little bit annoying. Just keep poking at them. Talk to them. Talk to the coordinator. You want to be friends with the producer. You heard that from everybody. Like, they're the person. And guess what? If you make yourself seen, there's odds are, you never know. You're down the road, they may be like, I remember this guy. He looked great. That was the guy I want in my movie. Like, I need him. Like, whatever reason that is. Make yourself known. Do everything. You don't have to be this set thing. Like, I didn't come here to be like, I need to be an actor. That's all I need to be. I just wanted to be a part of movies. It didn't matter how, what, when, where, why, or how. I just put myself in that position to be better and do things that I want to do in life. Be creative, make movies with my friends. Like, I surrounded myself with people that want to do the same thing that I do. And I got very blessed and with a group of people, Team Jara, to help me grow, and we get to work together. And some of our interns got to witness that experience over the last year that, like, we're a little different than the others, but, you know, we do it with a smile, darn it. But that's all that I really have to say, man. Thank you for letting me come up here and fog up the mic. Thank you, guys.
You know, it's funny how he said, really get up and move. Go where the work is at and hang around the people that are going to help you gain more knowledge. I'll give a quick story on a project that I worked on in California. I was living in my car for about a year and going to school. I went to school for special effects makeup. That was my first thing in 2007 in Hollywood. So I ended up getting one of my first gigs, and it was a horror film. And so I was in charge of all of hair, special effects, makeup, and they gave me I think it was like a $3,000 budget. I was like, how am I going to handle this for 25 days? I was just happy not to sleep in the car anymore. That's all I was. I got to take a shower, but I used to bird bathe in the restroom at school right before class started. So I'd run in, I'd go over there. But I did what I could. I did what I had to, and I put myself in that position. I was scared, but then I just forced myself, and I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And I did. So I got this job, and when we were in Santa Barbara I knew the owner of the McDonald's fast food chain restaurant sold their ranch over to the person that was making these movies. And so he had tons of like hotel rooms on this. It's crazy that their house was shaped as a Big Mac. Believe that, you know? So, but I stuck to the producers. I stuck to the directors, not my makeup team, not anything. So, in the director and producers, they told me, he's like, Eric, why don't you sit with your crew? I said, well, because you guys have a lot of the knowledge. You know, I know how to do the makeup, I know how to do this, but I want to know where you guys are at, what you guys do. And they're like, you're a smart guy, because you could be sitting over there not doing nothing, but you're sitting with the producers and directors, you're gaining their trust. And I started hanging around with them, which only led to them taking me under their wing and showing me how to produce. I had to switch my mind, because producing was not starting at 8 in the morning. It was like the entire day. You know, sometimes we start at 7 at night, we were ending at 6 in the morning in LA. So it was just like, oh boy, but it was an experience to say the least, you know. So because of that, I got to be under a wing, under these people that just knew very well, and because they took me under their wing, they would teach me anything, and I was like a piece of clay for them, and they kind of molded me in some way, you know. So that's the story that I had, that I learned how he explained it, because really hang around the people that are going to help you get to the next level on film, and don't be afraid to ask questions, don't be afraid to talk to people, because that's where it all starts too. So, well, this next guest, all right, you've seen. Who knows of Zac Efron? Anybody know who he is? Yeah? Well, he's his stunt double. And also, you might have seen him on The Walking Dead, but you just didn't notice. He was a zombie. Yeah, so he's a stunt double as well. He's done some pretty big films, pretty big projects. And we got Jordan Scotch right here. Come on up.
Hey, how's it going, guys? That's hard to follow, man. That was so much great information. My name is Jordan Scott. Thank y'all so much for having me. I commend your efforts and your passions into the film industry. I know I got in the film industry. I met an actor at the gym I was working at. I was managing a gym, and he came in looking for a membership. I don't know if y'all know who John Bernthal is. He's Shane on The Walking Dead and The Punisher. So he came in, and he was a boxer, and I was also training in MMA at the time. So we just hit it off and started training together, and I thought he was my hero because he was a undefeated professional boxer, but I didn't even realize the level of actor he was until he brought me the first season of The Walking Dead, and I went home and watched it, and I came back, I was like, wow, dude, you're legit, you're like the real deal. And so a few months after that, he got me on as an extra, just as a zombie on The Walking Dead, and I fell in love. As soon as I walked on set, I was just like, man, this is home, you know? And I just knew I was going to do whatever it took to stay there. And I really didn't know what department I was going to go into. I knew I wanted to act, you know, but that seemed kind of like the dream. Like I didn't really know if that was too far-fetched, but I knew I could do something. So I started seeing the stunt people, and, you know, they were doing martial arts, which I did. They were doing flips, which I did. You know, I had a lot of the skills. So I got into stunts and just fell in love with that and just devoted my life to it. And yeah, so I've been in Avengers Endgame, Captain America Civil War, Punisher. I've been Zac Efron's stunt double for 6 movies. You know, so many things. But I think my biggest point would be just do it because you love it. You know, if you're doing it for the money or fame or anything like that, you're going to get burnt out and you're going to get hurt and you're going to, like, emotionally, physically, whatever it may be. And it's going to break you, you know, but if you do it because you love it and because you love the people and that you're passionate about it, like all that other stuff won't matter. You know, you're doing what you love, you're pouring into your purpose, and you'll look back and be really proud of what you've accomplished and what you've done. Even if, like you said, if you fail, you know, I'm the same way. I'm like, I have to fail because failing is what's in between me and success. Like I have to be willing to make those failures. So I embrace that, and I've failed so much. And I've messed up, and I've, you know, gotten hurt, and I've broken bones, and, you know, but I just get up every time, and you just, because you love it, you know. And if I was doing it for the money, I don't think I would. If I was chasing some kind of fame or some kind of award, I don't think I would still be here, you know. I do it because I love it, and I hope you guys too do too, and I hope some of that's valuable to you. And yeah, just keep chasing your dreams, tell your stories. I started out, you know, as an extra, got into stunts. I've been doing a lot more acting. I don't know if y'all saw His and Hers. I had a really cool acting part on His and Hers that just came out. And then Netflix, yeah. It's a great show. It's not usually something I would watch, like the murder mystery stuff, but it's really, really good if you haven't seen it. And then I started producing lately as well. I produced a long time ago, and I failed. You know, like I was trying to get this movie. I was like producing a pitch for a movie. And we got it all together, we got the script, and we just worked so hard on it, and it fell apart. But I always knew, even while I was on that journey, that if this didn't work out, it was going to be training for the next thing. And I was just going to gain so much experience. And I did. And I just shot a short film that I produced, and we made it SAG, and I found the funding, and I was the lead in it, and I wrote it, and like, it was one of those things, like right before I released it, I was so embarrassed and I was so scared because I was just like, it was exposing myself so much. But I would have rather failed and fell on my face than wondered what if, you know, because I always had that idea of what I wanted to shoot, and I saw it in my head. And like, just to know that I did it and put it out there, like whether it was good, whether the reaction was great, like that was a great accomplishment for me. So I hope you guys can find those as well. Yeah, and another thing I would say, I know I'm rambling a little bit, but work for free, man. Like he was saying, find the people that are doing what you want to do on the highest level, that have something that you want to have, and just surround yourself with them. Work for free. Like, the money will come. Just work for free. The experience, the relationships, the trust, the respect that you gain is so much more valuable than the money. So don't be afraid to work for free. If somebody says, hey, can you come and like help on this project? As long as you think those people want the best for you and are willing to help you and have your safety in mind, man, show up. I promise you the relationships and everything you gain from it will be valuable to you. Thank you so much for your time, guys. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Jordan. That's another good point. Yeah. For my first year in LA, I worked for free. I did anything I could. The teachers would come in. All right, we got this job. I'd be the first one to lift my hand up. I'll do it. I'll do it. One of my very first gigs was to run the entire, I guess the hospital was doing some simulations, and there was like 50 injured people that were supposed to be doing some special effects on them. Nobody in the team wanted to do it, so I did. I raised my hand up, and it was at a Presbyterian hospital there in LA. And so the whole thing was we had like so many tables, and I was in charge of getting all the makeup artists there, including myself, and they'd come up with a little card, like a little note card with an injury, and we have to reproduce that injury. And then real paramedics would actually come and assist them and put them in and take them to different hospitals and stuff. So it was such a cool experience, but that's because I did it for free. You know, it's literally the experience, right, guys? It's more valuable than cash, because when you have more credits under your belt, that just shows that you've been experienced on production. It's just the best. I think it's later on cash will start coming in. Like I said, I did my first job and it was $2,000, $3,000, and I had to do everything. And they wanted everything under the sun, from hanging people from rafters, heads being chopped off, faces being taken off. I was like, wow, and hair and makeup. So I did it, but that's because I had a lot of help, makeup artists, hairstylists that were just willing to try to get credit. Getting an IMDb credit is more important than getting a buck in your pocket for right now, as you're starting out. So, but really quick for this one, I'm going to kind of go over the rules on this New Mexico cultural phrase, and then we'll kind of wrap it up a little bit and have you guys mingle back there with all the actors and stuff. So, really quick, like I said, we're going to reveal the phrase here in a little bit. My director is going to say the phrase, and you guys are going to be asked to inject that into your film creatively. Okay, so and it has to be verbatim, word for word. Okay, so we want genres. All of them are right, but we got to be careful. No XXX, no nudity, no cussing, no vulgar language, no disrespecting God, Jesus, religions, or anything like that. We want something true and original New Mexico style. There's a lot of stories here in New Mexico that can be created. There's one that I heard of, was the buried treasure, the lost treasure of Billy the Kid. That's just something that I've heard of before. I was like, oh, there's a story there. So think of something like that. So once we give you this phrase, run with it. The badges that you have on your chest, you have write your name on it, and right under it you put the type of job that you do, right? So, and what the type of job you want to do. So in the networking part, people can read your name badge and say, oh, hey, I need a writer, or I need a makeup artist, I need a hairstylist for my team, and I see you need a sound person. We got a sound. Let's help each other out. That's, at the end of the day, we want to make a really good film. That's what it is all about, is making good quality content that comes from New Mexico and really put New Mexico on the map for that. So, Naomi, is she here? Oh, Steve. Let me introduce you to, okay. Steve, you want to come up and do it? He is the director, and he will be saying the phrase.
Okay, the phrase is, the New Mexico wind carries dust, stories, and sometimes hope. So I will repeat that. The New Mexico wind carries dust, stories, and sometimes hope.
Thank you, Steve. So yeah, that's a pretty interesting little quote, phrase. Dig deep into New Mexico culture and be creative with it. It's a fun way to do this, and I think you guys are gonna have some great films. We got a lot online watching it, so if you see the TV, if not, it'll be posted up, and we'll definitely have a link or something you can post, and you'll see it there, guys. So, does anybody want questions? Before they go, we can ask some of the speakers. No? I'll ask them real quick because I know you got to get going, Andrew, because of the. How old were you when you started making films? Like, when was it that really drove you to, like, I want to make film?
I think I made like a short film starring my dog when I was like 10 years old, and I recorded over like a family event. Oh, thank you. So 10 is when I officially started, but if you want to look for an actual short film, I think I was about 16, 17. And like I said, just filming off of like, we had to use the little camcorders that you then had to like plug into a computer, download the file, then get the other one. So it was a lot of fun. But yeah, that was the first time I ever really made something that had a story and made sense.
Same question.
Yeah, same question.
So I was a college student here at NMSU. I wanted to be an actor. I was a theater major. And my professor at the time, who would go on to be my father-in-law and partner, Mark Medoff, lived in Las Cruces 52 years, Academy Award winner, Tony Award winner, said, "You're a pretty good actor. You might be able to make a living, but I think you'd be a great director." I said, "Well, what's that mean?" He says, "We got to make a movie." I said, "How do I make a movie?" He says, "Have you ever seen a movie?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Then you make a movie." So with that information and that training, I went, I knew the guy that owned Dick's Cafe, a guy named Bobby Perez, and I thought it's a pretty cool place to shoot a movie, right? If you don't have a lot of money, find a location that looks great because you don't have the production design budget. Dick's Cafe was cool. So I said, "Bobby, can I shoot a short? And, I have to make a movie." Mark said, "I have to make a movie to be a director." And he said, "Yeah, we're closed on Sundays. You can come in on Sundays." So I went to Dick's Cafe. I wrote a movie based in Dick's Cafe because I knew I had that cool location. And I sent it to the American Film Institute and got in, Miracle of Miracles, and started making movies. So I've been making movies now since 1991.
Wow. And then you moved out to LA, right?
I went to LA, went to the American Film Institute.
Good school,
Great
good school.
program. Was invited back for a second year, made my thesis film. Then after that, I discovered this place called the Sundance Film Festival, which was life-changing for me. It was my inspiration to start the Las Cruces International Film Festival. I went to Sundance, and it exposed me to this thing called independent filmmaking. Previously, I was running around to the studios saying, "Please help me, please help me." And Sundance, the idea was, no, you just help yourself. You make the movie yourself. Doesn't matter if you've got $5 or $5 million. And so I went to Sundance a year. I went to Sundance. Robert Rodriguez was premiering El Mariachi, which he made for $5,000. Quentin Tarantino was premiering Reservoir Dogs. And it just blew me away, this idea of independent filmmaking. And so I made a film independently in Las Cruces, Andrew, in 1994 called Homage. And it went to Sundance in 1995, won the Best Director Award. And so when you win Best Director at Sundance, it certainly helps your career. And it helped me, and so I've been making movies ever since.
Awesome.
And trying just to make movies in Las Cruces exclusively. So if you have a movie and you need help making it, you've got a script, and you want me to help you, it has to be shot in Las Cruces. So if you tell me I'm making my movie somewhere else, you got to find another producer.
Well, Jordan, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Thank you, Ross. What was an iconic time, or something that really stands out to you when you worked on a project? Say like Walking Dead. How was the makeup on that?
The makeup was, at first I loved the makeup. I would take it would take like 2-3 hours to get in it, and then by like season 9, I was like, please make me a person. But I would spend all day, like 15 hours in that makeup, contacts in my eyes and everything, and I would love it.
Yeah, you guys got to see the footage online. He's got a head going, like his head's going through a windshield and all that good stuff. It's pretty cool.
I would say one of the most iconic times, I was on Avengers Endgame, and it's like the last final battle scene where they're about to run at Thanos, and like all the Avengers are running at him, and like I was just looking around, and there's like Thor and Black Panther, and like everybody just standing around me, and I'm in so much makeup. I was playing a Ravager, and so I had this like prosthetic, like whole mask all over my face. So a bunch of my friends were there too, and they couldn't even recognize me. They actually thought I was a girl because I had like long hair. I was like a girl. But yeah, and I just was standing there looking around. Wow, I'm really here right now. And then they would call action, and we would all just sprint like madmen, like we're running at Thanos, you know. And yeah, so that was a wild moment. There was actually one moment while we were running, and they had a camera like on a line, on a wire, and it was just like rushing towards me. right by my head, and if I hadn't moved, it would have cracked me
Knock you right in the head.
So I just like threw my body to the ground. But when I did, I got all these performers running in the stampede after me.
Ouch.
But you know, on the front line, it was mostly like the Avengers, and then after that, it was like mostly stunt performers. And man, those people are like cats. They didn't touch me one time. Didn't step on me, nothing. Just right past me. I'm just like, oh, I'm still alive. Okay. But yeah, that was definitely one moment. And I came here and stayed about 2 months about a year ago, and so much of that time I spent writing a script, something I'm really passionate about. And I feel like it's such like just the line, like the first thing I produced and kind of failed and like learned a lot, and the second thing was much more successful. And I feel like this is I'm going to produce the pitch for this next, and then I'm going to produce the whole movie. And the whole time I was writing it while I was here, I had filming it in Las Cruces in mind. So maybe we can look up. Yeah. Here's our reaction. There we go.
Thanks, man. What about you, Eddie? What stands out for you on this show, Netflix show?
I can kind of speak on like making a movie thing and just being on the show. Like, it's been many different aspects of my life because like I was making a documentary. I thought no one I was back when I raced.
Mm-hmm.
I took a kid with me. I owned a media company and he didn't really have a lot. I was like, listen, if you can get in my vehicle and travel me across the country and just be my mechanic, I can put you in situations that probably succeed. And he ended up meeting like some super big companies called Vertical. It was like super popular in my sport at the time. We would travel, we would talk about doing things for free, and we're just like, we'll be there. And it was they ended up giving him all the footage and letting him actually make the YouTube series and the DVD for them when it came out, and it just made my life seem so much dream come true for that aspect of it. Well, I was on the road, man, and this, I don't know, I love sharing with people and being creative and just doing these things. He made a video for me that year too. I think I was 20 years old, it was like 2014. I came across like a Red Bull, like how it looks like a scouter. So he's like, if you can put something together, maybe we can pitch something. And I was like, I don't know. I never got a chance to be a Red Bull athlete. That was as close as I could. I at least got told no. But we made a whole series to it. I was traveling the circuit, and we used a whole pitch to it. We used the original song from AWOL Nation. And we didn't get copyrighted on YouTube because we got to use it officially because of them guys. But as far as being on a show, man, it's kind of like Jordan speaks on. There's all these crazy things happening, and you don't realize it. Like when we were in the dorm, there's every inch that you turned your head was a camera. Every bunk, the entire ceiling, wires. You forget about it, of course, because you just acclimated to your environment. But it's pretty wild, man. We lived that life. As much as like you hear about these reality shows and yada yada, like yeah, there's some scripted stuff for sure, but our games weren't scripted. Like you lost. That's why some of the people who were super popular on the show didn't make it as far, but they used their story. It's like me and Lex meet at the Marbles, and just being on the sets were crazy. They actually used some of the original props, like the doll in red light, green light. They imported that in so that we could stare at it for 9 hours.
Oh, that was creepy.
Well, no, my bad. Netflix showed you 5 minutes. We were in there for like 7 to 9 hours in the cold UK, dropping like flies. But it was wild, man. The marble scene was all the original stuff. They had sand on the ground, and just we ran the staircase for hours on end for footage. And that show forever, as much as like people don't understand, they think it's all simple and it's reality. It's like kind of like film. Like you better be prepared to be sleepless. You better be prepared to be fatigued. You better be prepared to not eat that much. And it's just kind of warmed me up for what I was getting into, and I didn't even know it.
Very true. Yeah. Anybody else? Some questions from? You good? All right. Well.
Oh, we got someone in the back.
Well, I have a clarifying question. I appreciate your time and your messages were beautiful. I just have a clarifying question on the phrase.
Yes.
Okay. When it was spoken, it said it had to be verbatim.
Yeah.
When it was spoken, it was said, the New Mexico wind carries dust storms and such.
Yeah.
However, up there it says something.
Yeah. I just saw that right now. So go with what was originally said.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, no, that's fine. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, that was a little typo there. Like I said, this was our first year. This was last minute. We're still kind of ironing out the kinks here and stuff. So Thank you so much for
So is it carries or
bring right here. So New Mexico, the New Mexico wind carries dust, stories, and sometimes hope. Yeah. So I'll say it one more time. The New Mexico wind carries dust, stories, and sometimes hope. Yes.
Ross, what was your favorite movie to make out of the entire 18?
My favorite movie, so I really have two favorite movies. I was very fortunate as a young man. One of my heroes, a guy named Gary Marshall, who created Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley Morgan,
Awesome.
Pretty Woman, New Year, Valentine's Day, Princess Diaries. He saw my movie. I don't know how he saw it. And he said, I want to produce a movie and I want you to direct. So that was pretty cool because I got to work with Gary Marshall. And also in that same movie, I had Brendan Fraser, Faye Dunaway, 2 Academy Award winners. Rosie O'Donnell, Jennifer Beals, another hero of mine, Jack Klugman. So that was pretty special. I was 28 years old doing a pretty big budget studio movie with 2 Academy Award winners. So that was really special. But my favorite movie ever that I got to make was a movie I did as a class at New Mexico State University 2 years ago called Santa's Cousin. It was a Christmas rom-com, and it was made with NMSU students. It was a small budget, about $1 million. Eric Roberts played Santa Claus, and it was a joy because every day I went to set, the students were super excited and enthusiastic because they had never made a feature film. It was their first feature film. And when you make movies, and you've been doing it as long as I have, you get on these sets and people have been doing it 30 years like me. They're like, oh, okay, what time are we going to be done today? Look how long he's taking. You know, I'm not going to work overtime. What's for lunch? You know, you get very jaded and you get a little bit skeptical and bored with the process. But making Santa's Cousin is like, if I hired you to work on a movie, you'd be super excited, right? So I had a crew of 34 U's, and it was just amazing. So if I'm gonna, this summer, I'm very excited. I'm making 3 movies for the Lifetime channel, all with students as a class again. And so that's the most exciting and rewarding for me because it's not just a film set, it's a classroom. And so at this stage of my life, that's really what's most joyful. I did a movie with Al Pacino, came out last year. It was a big budget movie. And that wasn't much fun. In fact, it was miserable, to be honest. But doing movies with students is fun.
Can you explain really quick, and this will be the last question I believe, how sometimes these projects that you think are so grand, sometimes they're not fun. Sometimes there's actors that literally have to, once they say cut, they have to go walk away. Either they're method actors or something. But can you kind of elaborate on how sometimes that's how it goes?
Yeah, I've been fortunate. Like I said, I've worked with 3 Academy Award winners now: Al Pacino, Brendan Fraser, Faye Dunaway, a number of Academy Award nominees: Edward James Olmos, Kathleen Quinlan, Bruce Davison, Eric Roberts. And the truth of the matter is, when people are that successful, they get very guarded. They get very, very guarded because people want something from them. They want, hey, can I get a picture? Can I get an autograph? Would you read my script? Would you help me would you make my movie? Would you be in my movie? So when you have that many people constantly bombarding you with requests, with needs, you have to build these walls and barriers and protections so that you can try and live as somewhat of a normal life, which is very, very difficult when you're successful and famous like that. So that's really where it comes from. And also when you're on a film set, it's depending on the type of film, right? There's different genres, but if you're on a film set and an actor, a great actor, they're exposing themselves. They're being very, very vulnerable. It's like, if I were to stand in front of all of you and take off all my clothes and stand here naked, I'd be a little embarrassed, right? Well, that's what it's like to be in front of a camera. I mean, you're exposing yourself emotionally. You're completely vulnerable. And so when you're in that state, you have to protect yourself, and you hire sometimes people to protect you. You hire security guards, you hire a personal assistant, and they make sure that your space is sacred. They make sure that your space is being protected and honored so that you can do your very best work. So sometimes you're on a set with a very big actor, and they come to the set, they do their scene, and then they go right back to their trailers because they're trying to protect themselves. It's not that they're snobby, it's not that they're aloof. It's not that they're unfriendly.
Correct,
And the same thing, is often true of being a director. When you're directing, especially a bigger movie, there's a lot of pressure. If somebody gives you millions and millions of dollars, they expect that millions and millions of dollars back and a return on the millions and millions of dollars. So it's a stressful thing. You get up in the morning. Steven Spielberg said it best. He said the most difficult thing about directing is pulling up to the set. That's the hardest part. And then he said, if I'm really prepared, I'm storyboarded, I'm shot listed, then I can open my car door and go on to the set. But if I'm not prepared, I want to stay in the car and not go on set. So preparation is really the best way to alleviate stress. It's the best way to alleviate pressure. He said, I'm really prepared. I know what I'm doing. I know everybody on my set knows what they're doing. Every person has been, communicated to them, and they know what they're doing. So then and even then, it doesn't guarantee success.
No.
It doesn't guarantee success, and it's very easy to make a bad movie. It's hard to make a good movie because there's just so many variables.
Yeah, very true. To add to that too, it's not. So some people, when I first started, it was like I didn't expect this actor to be this way. But don't take it personal, because sometimes they are in their character. Sometimes they are not to be messed with, because their roles are serious. And so that I learned that, not the hard way, but I learned that really quick on set. So like, okay, there's certain reason we don't speak to some of these actors because of that. Sometimes they don't want to. It's the chance where they get to kind of just seclude themselves for a little bit and kind of be normal. And so that's why a lot of them go to their makeup trailer and stuff. But it's nothing personal on most of the cases, because it's what they need to do to focus on their film, on their character and stuff. So, okay, any more questions? We're done, I believe. Yeah? Well, thank you guys for coming. Thank you to the speakers. And I appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. So really quick, guys, if you guys want to come back to the room back here where we were, we're going to mingle back there a little bit. Some of the actors are going to be back there, and you guys can actually get to talk to them, ask questions, and all that good stuff.